LinkedIn has helped me generate 10K per month for myself and for my clients, booking me anywhere from 60 to 80 high-ticket sales calls every single month. And being someone who's now left the course and coaching space, I'm not afraid to give it all away for free. When you hit post on LinkedIn, the algorithm actually puts your post into a 3-stage sequence. So the 3 stages are as follows: friends, network, and viral. In the initial stage, just after you post, LinkedIn's algorithm will actually recommend your post to your first-degree connections, but specifically those who commonly engage with your content. Only about 20% of your connections actually see your content, and those 20% are the ones that are in the friends stage. So as you can see here, I've got a screenshot from a post that didn't perform particularly too well. I only got 36 reactions, and my average is around 40 to 50. And as you can see, it's usually from first-degree connections. After this stage, if your post has performed significantly well, it will then get pushed into the second stage, which is your wider network. So say, for example, when your friend likes a post, it might get pushed out to their friends' networks and their friends' networks. So this would be a second-degree connection. So these are the people who sometimes see your content, they engage with you, but they're not necessarily connected. Perhaps they're following you. So these two guys here, I've seen them engage with quite a few of my posts, but again, I'm not connected to them. So these are the people who are following me, but I'm not connected with them specifically. And then after it passes that final stage, if it meets the metrics and meets the requirements, LinkedIn will push it out into the third and final category, which is then when it goes viral. So this is an example of a viral post. It got 102, which again, compared to my average engagement, is pretty decent. And as you can see, majority of these people are either second or third plus connections. They've never engaged with my content before. They've never seen me before. And this is where you can really experience that insane amount of growth where your posts are now hitting areas of LinkedIn which you've never been able to tap previously. So most people get stuck in the first stage. Their content only gets seen by their friends, and it never really hits their ICP and the people who are intended to actually read the post. So I actually went and collated all of the information that LinkedIn collects in order to rank a post, and I've collected it and put it here for you guys to have a look at. These are the metrics that LinkedIn actually looks at. The time spent reading post, even if a person doesn't engage with your post, but they actually just spend time reading it, that will actually boost your post in the algorithm. Carousels, how far they've clicked if you put out a carousel, if they like the post, if it's a video, how long did they stay on the video for, what's the average retention, what's the view time, if they commented, if they reposted, and also if they click see more. These are all categories LinkedIn actively tracks. And based on these metrics will determine whether you end up in this first stage, the second stage, or hopefully the third stage. So LinkedIn's a lot different compared to Instagram and TikTok. So many people come from Instagram and TikTok and they try the same strategies that work there and try apply it to LinkedIn. LinkedIn's algorithm is completely different. Instagram ranks people based on categories. If you start liking loads of cat videos, it ranks you as a cat lover, and then it will give you more videos which other people inside of that category are liking. So even if it's not necessarily a cat video, but say for example, it's a video related to something that cat lovers like, then it will push content towards you under that premise. However, LinkedIn is less specific, it's less targeted, it's more network based. So it doesn't matter who your ICP is, what their interests are, it's more related to who you connected to. And as a result, it creates this tight-knit community. So we can actually reverse engineer the algorithm to find out, okay, well, if these are the metrics they're basing it under, how can we get your post to consistently hit second and third stage rankings? So time spent reading the post, carousels, how far they click, like the post, retention for videos, commented on the post, reposted the post, and click see more. So engagement pods suck because most of the times they just quickly like the post, maybe put some crappy comment. But what actually matters is, did they click see more? Like, how long did they spend on the post? Did they like the post? Did they repost it? These things really matter when you're trying to write a great LinkedIn post. So let's start with the first one, which is time spent reading the post. So there's a couple reasons for retention, which I'll quickly touch on. Is the post relevant to a specific niche? Does it invoke fear? Does it invoke desire? Is it readable? And is it clear? So many people screw up the last one as well. So relevant to a specific niche. So many people make posts that just don't really have a specific ICP. When you start writing to one specific audience with one specific problem, with one specific story, it allows for better readability. It's easier to understand. It's more clear. Also, using jargon words that are fancy acronyms, perhaps corporate jargon, these add friction to the reading process. I've heard this before, that you should actually write at a third grade reading level because it allows for lower friction and it increases the chances that someone will actually understand your post, and they actually have to put less thought into what each individual word means so they can understand the greater message you're trying to convey. If it invokes a fear, so I'll use a really great example here. This was a post I wrote for my client, Gustav, 2 months ago, and this was a great example of invoking fear. Last week, 7 of my friends got banned off LinkedIn. Only 3 got their account back. Again, loads of white space here to make it really readable. Some people, they do chunks. I love lists. Lists are super skimmable, super easy to read. And again, I'm invoking a load of fear. People don't want to get banned off LinkedIn. So Gustav specifically, he helps LinkedIn creators grow Instagram following they can monetize from. So my strategy is, or was at this point in time, to talk about LinkedIn bans and then say the best way to avoid a LinkedIn ban is to just diversify. So last week, 7 of my friends got banned off LinkedIn, only 3 got their account back, and it did pretty well. We got 23 reactions, which for Gustav wasn't, he was averaging 2 or 3 likes a post. And the other one is invoking desire. So for example, posts that say, I booked this many meetings, or I generated this amount of revenue, or I saved this amount of time. These are desire-based hooks, and they significantly perform well on LinkedIn because people also want the same outcome. So having an outcome-based hook, especially using numbers. So many people screw this one up, which is using how to in their posts. No one specifically cares about how to do something. They care more about how you did it, because not only do you come across as more relatable for an individual, but also it adds more credibility. The fact that you went through that process, the fact that I went through booking 0 sales calls and now we're able to book, 70 last month. I know people like the screenshots. So I got the screenshot here. Obviously I had to blur out some of the names. People like the screenshot, so I just thought I'd show it. So last month we booked 70 sales calls. And again, I wasn't even trying to do it. This was just for our launch, for obviously Asent, the AI DM software. But switching how I went from 0 to now booking 70 sales calls in our last week is a much more compelling hook. So simply put, you have to make content speaking to one audience, writing one specific problem at a time, and content preferably needs to be a personal story that has them curious, feeling relatable, or a desire to change, all whilst making it readable and clear. Sounds like a lot, but I promise you, it's not that difficult. This is a practice that I hand guide my clients through. So we pick 1 to 2 ICP, 3 specific problems they struggle with, and then thinking of stories or experiences you've personally gone through that relate to the scenario. So for our software, we have 2 ICPs. We've got freelancers and we've got LinkedIn lead generation agencies. The problems they struggle with for freelancers specifically, it is very expensive to afford a lead generation course, especially considering the exchange rates. Perhaps they're not maybe booking as many meetings as possible. And then for LinkedIn lead generation agencies, the problem that I went through is after you get to about 3 clients, doing the fulfillment process becomes so tedious. You then got to hire or start charging even more. And obviously charging more means you're cutting down the amount of audience you can actually get as clients. So things get really sticky quite quickly. So what Asent does is it comes in, it speeds up that process by writing the DMs faster. It writes the DMs better so you can book meetings, and it does it at an affordable price that's not anywhere near the expensive rates of an $1,000 course. In fact, I think we're pricing it just under $50. By the way, if you would like to check out Asent, we've got the waitlist in the description of this video, so make sure to check that out. But that's an example for us. And once you've built out your ICPs, your problems, and the stories, you can now do a pick and mix. So match the ICP, the problem, and the story, and instantly you've got unlimited post ideas. So I'll go through the Gustav post a little bit more in detail. So last week, 7 of my friends got banned off LinkedIn, only 3 got their accounts back. The best way to make a hook perform is to use numbers. Numbers add tangibility to the hook, so it allows for the user to actually feel like you've done your research. So last week, 7 of my friends got banned off LinkedIn, only 3 got their accounts back. Again, I'm doing that 2-line structure, so first line, space, second line. Not only does this maximize on the amount of space available when you see a post on the feed, so for example, Joe here has just put out a post. I recently saved client 40 plus hours per month, showed them this simple AI prompt. So LinkedIn only allows you to display the first 3 lines of a post before you then have to click the more button. So as a result, by adding in these 2 lines filled in with a white space, it allows for a double hook strategy. So if the first line doesn't catch them, then the second line will. Instead of having 3 lines or perhaps just 1, this maximizes on the amount of space that it will take up. So we did that for Gustav. Going into 2025, LinkedIn's audience is getting larger, but their TNCs are getting tighter. So again, adding mirroring also allows for a post to have better readability. So going into 2025, LinkedIn's audience is getting larger, but their TNCs are getting tighter. So just adding that in also helps a lot. In alignments to increase authority, result, more bands. So again, having a post that's straight to the point also really helps. So I've given context, but then I'm just saying straight to the point, the result is more bands, even if you don't use automations or you don't use AI. So as a result, I spent the last 48 hours building a full banning proof protocol without email lists to protect your lead gen efforts, reduce your chances of getting banned, and double your organic reach. So again, I'm focusing here more on the features and then also a little bit onto the problems that they're struggling with. So reducing chance of getting banned, doubling your organic reach. So this is a fear-based hook, and then this one here is obviously just a desire-based one. Protecting your lead generation efforts. We just wanted to make it a rule of 3. So having 3 points always looks better than just having 2. So I just added that one in to reduce banning, and then I give away some free value just straight off the bat. Don't automate, manually send DMs, don't do engagement pods, tone down the lead magnets, don't schedule posts. After a lead magnet hits 200 plus comments, just post the link to the resource in the comments. It'll prevent people reporting you for gatekeeping. To protect your audience, repurpose your written content to Twitter, start creating vertical shorts, repurpose to Instagram, and start posting free resource videos on YouTube. So although he offers Instagram specifically, I don't want to be too biased towards Instagram and say Instagram is the only way. As a result, people will trust you a lot less. So I've been very clear and honest. Twitter works as well, so does YouTube, but I'm really plugging here that you should be trying to push vertical shorts, especially as I'm saying LinkedIn aims to favor this type. And this goes deeper into the fact that LinkedIn obviously wants to push more video onto their platform. This is an example of a post that did really, really well. Again, middle of funnel, fear-based. Not many people use fear-based posts, but they work extremely, extremely well. All right, But content is the first step in a larger funnel. Content alone does absolutely nothing. I know people who've got followings of 70,000 or 80,000 who genuinely get 0 leads. It's so sad. I remember when me and my old business partner were at under 5,000 followers combined, and we were generating more leads and booking more meetings than some people who had 20, 30,000 followers. So content means nothing, engagement means nothing unless you do DMs. So your inbounds are roughly about 20% of your potential. So say, for example, if you're getting 20 inbound leads every single month, then you'll be getting 100 if you actually did DMs. Again, I'm making this number up, but it's roughly about 20 based on when I have and haven't sent DMs. In fact, in November of last year, we booked 15 sales calls a week, but we were able to double these numbers going into December, which, by the way, December is the hardest month because everyone's winding down for the holidays, just by doing more DMs. More conversations, more DMs equals more leads. It's this simple formula. People treat DMs so badly. They either splatter people with pitches out the gate or they don't bother at all for fear of rejection. And honestly, I'm in this category as well. LinkedIn DMs are genuinely terrifying. I've been in sales for ages and I still feel like I can't do it right. So that's why we built Asent to obviously help that process, and perhaps specifically for me to get over my fear of rejection. DMs should be treated like you're asking someone out. So I was actually speaking to my client about this. It's a weird analogy, but bear with me. So you don't ask for marriage on your first date, and in the same way, you won't actually get a solid partner if you don't go out there and actually talk to people. So many people screw this one up, where they just pitch straight out the bat and they expect someone to hop on a call with them without any rapport at all. But the simple formula is the more people you talk to, the bigger your network, the more referrals, the more visibility, and the more clients you'll get. So we've established the first step is to initiate a conversation. But how do you actually go about doing this? So there's 2 things that make a DM work: personalization and relevance. The first step is to first establish why you're reaching out. So you can't just be reaching out for no reason at all. It needs to seem like it's coming off the whim, like you literally just saw them on your profile, for example, or you saw that they were in an event and you thought you'd reach out. So here are some examples. You saw their post on your feed and you liked it. They viewed your profile, they engaged with your post, they subscribed to your newsletter, they commented on your lead magnet, or they live near your area. The live near your area one works so well, especially for me. I live in Milton Keynes, so whenever I want to message someone from Milton Keynes, instantly I can crack a couple jokes. and it can be like an inside joke that you can get only if you live in the area. You can also mix and match, but make sure the message is relevant and it feels personalized, like you hand wrote the message specifically for them. In fact, you should be doing that for every single message. The opening DM is split in 4: intro, compliment, insight, question. Here's an example. Hey man, or name I use interchangeably, but loved your post about XYZ. I've actually been learning about it myself. Heard relevant info to the industry. Is that the case for you? So these are the 4 stages to the conversation. So this is the natural progression a conversation should flow through. The first stage should be the personalized opener. So this will be your small talk. For example, I might see someone's profile and I might really like their banner. And I might say to them, hey, love your banner. How did you make it? I'm trying to get into graphics design. I think it looks amazing. I think my profile needs a redo. How did you make it? It's completely irrelevant from what I'm selling. The first step should just be about getting a reply. Maybe I could be something more harsh. So you've been posting pretty consistently on LinkedIn. Loved your last post. How's it been going for you? Now, so many people then get stuck in this small talk. They don't know how to start talking about things that are actually going to be relevant for them selling their services. This is the revealing pain point stage. This is asking qualifying questions. You then start to pivot. The way I do it is I usually then ask, how's your business been? How many clients are you working with? How many DMs are you sending? What kind of results are you seeing from it? How many meetings are you booking? How long have you been doing this for? These are pain point questions. If someone has been sending DMs for the past 3 months, booking like 1 or 2 meetings, they've signed 1 client, but it's been on a free trial, and they've really been struggling with LinkedIn, I know their desire is at here, and they're more likely to actually buy my service. So at this point, then you make them ask for advice. So for example, I might say, loved your last post, and they might say, yeah, appreciate it. What's your advice on it? Actually, I'm trying to, generate more leads. And I can then give them the advice straight away. I remember when I was first starting, I'd always gatekeep this. Someone would ask me for advice and I'd just be like, you know what? No, it's part of our paid program. I can't give away this information. But the more and more I progress and the more I stay on this platform, the more I'm beginning to realize the amount of free value you give away, the more trust you develop, and you build something called authority. Authority is what allows you to sell. It's the reason why people like Alex Mosey give away 4-hour videos just for free on YouTube, because he knows it's going to bring exponential results back. And the last one is the offering for help. So at this stage, they've presented pain points. They're looking to you for advice. They know they got a problem. They know they're looking for a solution, and they're pretty confident that you can deliver because they've been asking for advice. It's at this point where you then offer to help them on a call. Hey, based on what you told me, I think this would be a great fit. Was wondering if I could hop on a call and show you about my program. It's a bit more harsh. Hey, would love to give you some more help on a call. You free Wednesday this time, for example. So missing out any one of these 4 stages, so personalized opener, revealing the pain points, making them ask for advice, and then offering help. Missing out one of these or many of these steps reduces your chance of conversion, but it also reduces the amount of time you spend on DMs. So I know for enterprise businesses, perhaps they go straight away to offering for help, and they skip out basically all of the stages. The reason is they don't have the time to go back and forth with people. But for agencies, for small to medium-sized businesses, I highly recommend you go through all 4 stages. But this has been the key differentiator, which has allowed us to get 70 plus meetings and hundreds of more leads inside of the inbox just by sending these DMs and following these 4 steps. Again, all of this is extremely valuable. You'll never find any more information like this on the internet for free. So that is basically everything on how you're going to sign clients using content and then also using DMs. Hope you found this video packed with value, and I'll catch you in the next one.